So today's the day we're going to process the chickens. This is my very first time ever processing chickens, so I'm sure I'll make some mistakes. I hope that I can do it quickly and as painless as possible for the chickens. But basically what we got here is a turkey fryer that I bought, propane burner underneath it. This is so that we can scald the chickens before we pluck them. So water's just starting to warm up in there. Got a large cooler to put the chickens in after they've been cleaned. Got 2 killing cones that I made from 5-gallon buckets. I saw videos on YouTube how to do this. Just take a 5-gallon bucket, cut it out, put it together with zip ties, and you can hang it off of a tree by the handles. So the tree right there has the hooks on it to hang the buckets, and then the chickens are there. So we're going to take the chickens from the tractor, bring them over to that, slaughter them, bring them up here. We'll dip them. We'll plug in the plucker and set it right here, and then I'll put a table right here. I got a table I got to bring out, and that's where we'll clean them, gut them, and then throw them into the cooler. So that's going to be the process. I'm trying to keep it in as much of a straight line as possible, while keeping the killing area away from the house. I don't want the slaughter area to be too close to the house. I'll have a bucket to put the entrails in over here, and then we'll bury the entrails in the woods. So I'm gonna get finished setting up here and then get started. I won't film the actual dispatching of a chicken just because, first of all, it's not something that I think should be on YouTube for everybody to see. You probably want to be looking for that content specifically, and just in case somebody comes across this, I don't want there to be any anybody scarred or sad from seeing that. So I'm not going to film that, but I will film the processing, the plucking of them, just to kind of show you what that process looks like. All right, thanks. Okay, a little update here as we've been going. So I've got the first 5 chickens done. I was hoping to get 4 batches today. If I do 5, 6, 6, and 6, that should be all the chickens I need to do. So did the 5 first, I'll do 6 next. The boiler is going great. I got this on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. This thing works terrific. Got the water up pretty quick and is not using up all the propane, so that's good. Keeping that about 150 has been perfect. The chickens plucked very, very easily. I got this Yardbird chicken plucker. This thing is amazing. Everything I heard about how hard it was to pluck chickens, but if you get a plucker, it's much easier. That was amazing. You throw 2 chickens in there, you flip the switch, you spray some water on it. It does have a little hose attachment here. I don't know if you can make that out right there. That runs into a hose on the inside that will spray water. Everything I saw on people online using this, they didn't use that. They just sprayed a hose inside, and that's what I've been doing, and it works terrific. All the feathers shoot out of a chute at the bottom down there, so it's easy to clean up later. The bin actually comes apart too, so you can clean that out easily. It plucks a chicken in, 20-30 seconds. Very, very fast. Pretty amazing. So I've been dunking them till a couple feathers will come out easily. You can see I drop a little bit of feathers from each chicken. Just pluck them, see when the feathers start to come loose. Usually 20-30 seconds in the water. Then put them in here, turn it on, spray some water on them while they're spinning. The feathers all come right off, and then I brought them over here. I stacked them up on the table, did the processing, threw all the innards in there. I'm not going to show that bucket because it's kind of gross in there, and I don't want, once again, this is YouTube, I don't want people to see something they don't want to see. Clean them out. The plucker came with this lung remover, which actually is really good. One of the things I read about was that it's hard to get the lungs out. They kind of stick to the ribs, so that works really good. If you just kind of scoop along the edge of the rib, pulls it right out. Keeping the feet to feed to the dogs. So I've got a bucket with feet. There's 10 feet in there. And then I've been bringing the chickens when they're complete down here. And as you can see, we've got 5 complete chickens cleaned out, looking great. We'll weigh them later. I've got a bag of hearts and livers for the dogs, and then also some necks so that we can make stock with them. But yeah, this is going much easier and much faster than I expected. I got my first 5 done in under an hour. I think it was about 50 minutes from slaughter to having the complete process done and cleaned up the area. So I'm gonna get back, do another batch of 6. I will say the The killing cones that I created are good, but the hole in them is a little too small. So next time I might want to make the opening at the bottom a little bigger. I've got to grab the chicken's head to guide it through there. Other than that, it has worked great. That method I was skeptical about, but the method of hanging them up in that cone and then dispatching the chicken does work really well. The chicken doesn't seem to go through much stress in the process. You know, you cut their head and they bleed out really quickly. So there doesn't seem to be a lot of suffering, which is really important to me. Like I said, I want these chickens to live a comfortable life there all the way through until this one bad day when they get processed, right? But even in the processing, I don't want them to suffer too much. So yeah, that was great. Having the chicken tractor next to that worked well because I could bleed one out, go grab the next one, put it in the other cone, and then process that one. And then when I got 2 done, I would walk them up, set them on the table, go back and do 2 more. And then, like I said, I got to 5. So this time I'm gonna do 6. But all right, just wanted to give an update. These products that I've picked up, you know, after doing some research online, seem to be exactly what you need. I don't know that I would recommend anything else so far. Now, of course, I'm only 5 chickens in. Let me get through all 22 and maybe I'll have a different opinion. But to start, at least for a newbie like me, somebody that's never ever done this before, this has been absolutely perfect. I can't, you know, say enough about how well and how easy this has gone and how nice these tools work. So, you know, many people always say, you know, jobs are always easier with the right tools, and that definitely seems to be the case because this is going, you know, swimmingly with the right tools. Okay, well, I'll check back in when I'm done with all of them. So today's the packaging day for the chickens. We basically laid them out on the table out there, put them in those little plastic bags, and we haven't done anything else. So just rinse them off, put them in the bags. Nothing exciting to see there. What we do next is once they're in the plastic bags, I'm gonna hand you over the camera here. We take them, we put them in the plastic bag, we put a zip tie on it, and then we stick a straw in there. And the straw is basically to allow the air to escape. These are these are sealable bags. So what happens is when you put them in hot water, they shrink down and they suck to the chicken, so they look kind of like a grocery store chicken. So we dip it in some hot water between 180 and 190 degrees. And then once that's dipped...
Hold on, let's look here.
But yeah, so we take the chicken. It's not sealed right now, right? I just have the straw zipped in there. You put it in, you'll actually hear the air escape. Count to 5, pull it out, and you can see it immediately shrinks up. It's pretty great. Then we just set it down again. You pull the straw out and you finish zip tying it. Now at this point you could cut the zip tie off and cut the top off and it would look just like a grocery store packaged chicken, but this is ready to go in the freezer. These guys were sitting for 2 days in the cooler with ice or on ice to allow rigor mortis to get past, and they have softened up nicely. So I think we're ready. We've done 22 chickens already. We also have a bag of hearts and livers. This is for dog food, so we'll just throw this in the freezer.
Yeah, that will go right to those things right there.
And then we also have a bunch of necks that are in the cooler. So we have 22 necks, and we'll save those to make stock. Okay, just wanted to show you the last step there. Here's a look into the freezer. We've put these ones in just a few minutes ago, so they're starting to cool off. But yeah, we've got a lot of chickens in here now. We're gonna have 22 chickens, so that's a lot of chickens that'll be in here available to eat throughout the year. The goal for us was to get enough chicken to hopefully be able to, you know, feed us for 6 to 9 months. The wife and I alone. You know, these chickens are pretty good sized, and we only eat, you know, a quarter to a half a chicken at a time, and we probably eat one or two chicken meals a week. So I think that with this amount of chicken, we should be able to get probably 6 to 9 months worth of chicken for us. We'll figure it out, see how long this lasts. And then next year when we raise chickens, we'll know how many to make or not make, or how many to grow and not grow. All right, it's been a couple weeks since we harvested the chickens. As you can see, they're all frozen in here. We've been eating them. We've eaten 2 so far, and they are delicious. Just as good as a store-bought chicken, in my opinion. I'm sure some people would say better. I don't necessarily taste the huge difference, but I know that the chickens were treated well and taken care of, so that's important to me. Just wanted to go over the statistics on the chickens. So we ended up getting a total of 123, let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, 123 1/4 pounds of chicken. Now this is after we removed all of the guts and set aside the necks. This isn't including the weight of the necks or including the weight of the hearts and the livers that we're going to use in the dog food. But yeah, so we of regular chicken that we'll eat just as a regular table food, we got 123.25 pounds. So that's pretty good. As you can see here, the average weight per chicken was 5.5 pounds, a little over 5.5 pounds. So for an 8-week-old chicken, we feel like that's a pretty good size. The largest was 7 pounds 2 ounces, which is really big, and the smallest was 4 pounds 10 ounces, with the vast majority of the chickens being in the 5-pound range. This breaks down, how big the chickens were from chicken 1 to chicken 22, and this is just not in the order in which we slaughtered them. This is just in the order of which we bagged them up. So yeah, so the smallest one being 4 pounds 10 ounces. We also had a 4 pound 13 ounce one there. Those were the only two that were in the 4 pound range. The vast majority of the rest were in 5 pound range, and there were also a few in the 6 pound range. There was a 6 pounder there, a 6 pound 3 ounce, and another 6 pounder, and a 6 pound 8 ounce, and another 6 pounder. So there was a few in there. Most of them though were, as I said, in the 5.5 pound range, which is perfect for us. That is, exactly what we would want for the two of us. That gives us a couple meals for sure. It's a great thing to have in the freezer here. So I just wanted to give that final update on these. The process of raising the chickens was not difficult. The process of slaughtering the chickens was surprisingly not difficult either. I was really concerned about the chickens, suffering or it being a difficult process. The chickens didn't suffer much. It was a quick process. They definitely, go quickly, which is great. I really didn't want the chickens to suffer a lot. I know it's just chickens, but they are living creatures. We do want to care for our animals. We want our animals to live the best life that they can live until the day that they're not, right? And in this case with the chickens, it was because we were raising them for food. So we wanted that process to go quickly. It did though. It was clean, easy. The cleanup for the tools was pretty good. All in all, it took me only about 4.5 hours, 5 hours, and I had all these chickens processed pretty much by myself. The wife was at work. I did it after we ate breakfast, and she went off to work. I just started working on it, and yeah, just all by myself for my first time. So that just shows you that this is not an overly complicated process. Okay, well, thanks again for watching. If you like this video, if you like the content on our channel, please give this a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you click the little bell when you subscribe, you'll get notified when new videos are out, and we do put new videos out about once a week.